everybody.
Hey, hi, hello.
You can sing a little song for us like you usually do?
How are you doing today?
Wow, you're like an early Billie Eilish.
Hey, hi, how are you feeling? Hey, hi, am doing just fine. Yeah, hey,
Wow.
hi.
That was impressive.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Thanks.
You working on that?
No.
Is that a part of your act?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big time.
Nice.
Look, come check out my new show, Hey, Hi, How Are You Doing? Where I ask audience members how they're doing. It's a long-form improv comedy show.
3 hours, right?
I will be asking every single person at Carnegie Hall how they are feeling and how they're doing.
So be sure to, it's important to have something to say to Sam.
Yes.
So be sure to write some things down or
Come prepared.
have an answer, you know? I mean,
yeah,
because I mean, you do not respond kindly to people who give you shit answers.
I don't appreciate you not doing your homework and not coming prepared. I have no patience for it.
It's
and
in
I
the
will
ad.
have a full diva meltdown.
Right. I mean, when they buy the ticket,
prepared.
they get the email, and then the email, it tells them what to do, so.
Yeah, you get like a special, like, you know how like dollar bills have money like paper money has like those holographic images on it to like certify that it's a legit bill.
Right.
You'll get like a piece of paper with like that on it. And you have to like write down how you're doing, and like bouncers will be checking at the door if you filled out your how are you doing piece of paper.
Yes.
It comes with your ticket, and if you don't fill it out properly, you will be turned away.
And remember that this is a dry venue.
Yes.
There'll be no drinking or smoking carrying on.
No fun allowed.
So yeah, come to Sam's show.
Actually, there will only be room temperature water being served there. And I understand that some people like that and some people don't. And I specifically want to make the people who don't like it uncomfortable.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's for the effect.
Well, because I like it and you're coming to my show.
Yeah.
So you're going to have what I like there. It's just room temperature water.
Right. Sheet cake.
Sheet cake, grocery store sheet cake. And ketchup, but only with mayo that to dip in it.
The cake and the ketchup. You make like a special sauce?
Yeah.
Right. But only the ketchup and the mayo. You don't put anything else in the special sauce.
No, there's no ketchup, just mayo.
Oh, only so mayonnaise only.
Yes.
And this isn't like a mayonnaise icing. It's just mayonnaise.
Oh, sorry. No, there's the sheet cake and the French fries and mayo are different.
You didn't mention French fries.
Like they're different menu. Yes, I did. I said French fries with only mayo to dip in.
Okay.
You weren't listening. Ketchup, but only with mayo.
I guess I wasn't.
You can't come to my show now because you've just proven that you can't fucking listen to what I have to say.
Right.
It's my show.
Well, I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, I bought 100 tickets, but I guess I just won't go.
But money in my pocket, bro.
Right.
Sorry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I like. I also like it when people spend money and then don't come to my show because I really just want the money.
I mean, yeah, because wouldn't it be great as a performer to have a full theater like filled out to come see your show and then no one shows up and then you get to walk away with the money anyway?
Yes.
Like that's a win-win.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do this.
I don't have to work.
I just wanted your money.
Exactly. That's like me working at a grocery store, but just like being paid minimum wage. I don't actually have to go into the grocery store.
Exactly.
I just get paid.
Can we put that on a t-shirt? I didn't want to do this. I just wanted your money. But welcome back to the Chill Spot Podcast,
hey,
everybody.
Everyone.
Hope you enjoyed that little bit we just did.
I do care about you as listeners, and I do want if I ever do a live show, if we ever do like Chill Spot Live, there will be ice cold water for those who want it.
Plenty of beeras.
Yes.
Plenty of snacks.
Which beeras?
I just beer in another language.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What language?
I believe it's Spanish. Bira. B-R-A.
I thought it was cerveza.
Should I wonder about that now?
I'm pretty sure it's cerveza.
But bira,
that's like the one Spanish word that Canadians learn when they go to Cuba. It's like, dos cervezas, por favor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, but
yo habla español.
But bira is beer in another language. I thought it was Spanish. I guess it isn't.
Maybe it's Italian.
Oh, maybe.
You were learning Italian at a time.
That could be it.
Yeah.
I'll have to fact check that later. Maybe Sam can edit in. You do like a text pop up or something.
Sure. Sure.
If you want.
Yeah. Watch us on YouTube. But yeah, how are you doing, my love?
I'm doing good, actually.
Yay.
It's been a good week of work and whatnot. My commissions have been full.
Cameron draws the O0 on Instagram.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram.
Boy.
I'll draw you a pretty picture, or if you work at an art studio, I'll draw stuff for your thing.
Hey.
Being your game or whatever, or
Please.
whatever you need art for.
He's really good.
Please call me.
I'm not just saying that because I'm his girlfriend.
But it's really been good. But we've been doing. I don't think this is the first podcast. It's actually the first podcast recorded on my brand new computer.
Yes.
We finally did it, fam.
You managed to claw a GPU out of the hands of NFTs and just like brought it home.
Should I tell that whole story? Like,
yeah, really quickly. Like,
I'm
not to extrapolate.
I'm not going to take too long, of course, but yeah. So for those who don't know, the crypto market has been destroying or creating a tech drought for fucking a year and a half now.
Literally, yeah.
And it's been impossible to get specifically a GPU, which is a graphics processing unit.
We should go back. So, for those of you who don't know, there's two ways to have a desktop computer, which is you buy one from a store.
Buy one, yeah.
Or you can build one. You can buy the individual parts
and build it yourself.
And there's more customization options. So you have had trouble. Cameron has the latter, and you have had trouble finding said parts to upgrade your 7-year-old computer because of the cryptocurrency tech drought.
Granted, I'll take responsibility for this. Like, I waited too long to upgrade my computer and then needed a full upgrade. Like, I upgraded literally every single part in my computer.
Yes.
The only thing that's hold over from my computer in there is my fans. Because I don't need to replace them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I probably would have had to replace those too. I typically 4 to 5 years is when you should start looking into new parts.
Yes.
And like not a full new motherboard.
Yeah.
And all the fucking bullshit that goes along with that.
But really, who could have predicted that a bunch of assholes were going to create ways to own digital art and therefore cause a tech drought as rich people hoarded the equipment necessary to hold all of their like wealth that they were accumulating.
It's fucked.
No one could have fucking predicted
It's true. No one, not even Elon Musk himself saw that one coming. But anywho, our good buddy Evan from the Discord, shout out to Milhouse on Twitch. You want to follow him on Twitch?
Shout out.
Shot me onto this guy named El Babbins on Twitter, who is kind of like I don't know if you follow any of these accounts, but he's kind of like a shopping account.
Okay.
Like he like tweets out deals and shit.
Okay.
So like I turned on notifications for this guy. And actually found a bunch of great deals. It's a shame I don't have any money. But like, eventually he said, hey, Best Buy is doing a full restock at like all of these GTA locations for graphics cards. So I was like, fucking aces, let's go.
Yeah.
I left like an hour before the store opened. There was a line of like 40 people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to fucking get a graphics card. They probably have like 10 here. Like, fuck this, I'm going home. And then out of nowhere, shout out to this guy. This guy I didn't even go to high school with, but I knew from another high school, I think from football, who's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Texted me and was like, dude, I just saw you at Best Buy. Like, you lined up for a GPU? And I was like, yeah, actually, but I'm going to head home. Like, I'm not going to wait in this line of 50 people. There's no point. And he goes like, bro, no, come back. They're handing out tickets. They have like 100 fucking graphics cards. And I'm on Winston Churchill, like, full U-turn.
Skirt.
Yeah. And drove all the way back. And then I had to spend more money. I got the graphics card one up from the one that I wanted. So it's about $100 more. But I got one.
You take what you get.
And then I've said this many a times on the podcast. I'm not one to stare a gift horse in the mouth.
Yes.
So I went and got the graphics card. Craziest thing, kind of tied in what we're gonna be talking about in a minute. The money that people are willing to spend. I felt a little part of myself die when she was like, that'll be $734. And I was like, get your visa, please. What am I gonna do? Say, is there a cheaper one?
Yeah, exactly.
I saw people walking out.
Do you have any coupons?
The most expensive graphics card available right now for NVIDIA, if I'm not mistaken, tech folks, relax. I know, is I believe it's the RTX 3080 Ti, which I think is like a $2,900 graphics card. Like it's really expensive. But it's hot. A, people want it for cryptocurrencies. And B, it's an excellent graphics card.
Yes.
If you bought a graphics card like that, you wouldn't need a new computer for like a decade.
Wow.
Like it's just like a crazy great graphics card. That's why it's $3,000. I saw people walking out with those graphics cards and PlayStation 5s. First of all, why get a PlayStation 5 if you're getting the graphics card?
Have you ever heard of that TikTok guy who walks up to people driving really nice cars and asks them what they do for a living?
No.
Okay, so like he'll be out, I think he lives in like California, and he'll walk up to someone in like a Lamborghini and be like, question, what do you do that allows you to afford that car?
Tax fraud.
And I kind of want to like do that to those people. Be like, excuse me, sir, what do you do that allows you to afford a $3,000 GPU and a PlayStation 5 in one purchase? Like, what do you do for a living?
Right.
I want to know.
Right.
You know?
Like, please, hey, buddy, are you a YouTuber? Yeah, so am I. How could you afford
what
that?
What the fuck do you do?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But anywho, I got the parts. I went home and I ordered all of. It was funny. The GPU was the only thing that was hard to get.
Yes. Well,
I
that's
ordered
what's
everything
been
else.
sticking in our craw for the last year. Has been the fact that we can get every single part easily except for this one part. Because fucking cryptocurrency douchebags are hogging all of the GPUs.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Like, small sidebar in cryptocurrencies. I don't even hate the idea of cryptocurrencies. I just hate the fact of what they do to the environment. That's really the only caveat.
You know, like the environment, and also for me, it's the like it's socioeconomic for me. So yes, like economic socioeconomic and environmental. So like, you know, economic in the sense that you buy it a bunch, you blow up the market, you drive up the prices, you make it so that other people can't afford this thing, and social because you're not doing it because you need these things. You're doing it to say that you have these things.
Well, because it's interesting,
and that just makes me so mad.
Well, the thing about crypto, not NFTs. NFTs are bullshit. But the thing with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Dogecoin and so on and so forth is it was a way for people who aren't in the upper middle class to get there, to make lots of money. But then, now, of course, the issue, like you just said, is that rich people are getting richer off this thing that poor people effectively discovered and worked on and like made this thing. And now it's just blown out of control, and I think it should just go away.
Yeah.
Perfectly honest with you.
It didn't work. It failed.
Right.
It's kind of a pox on society at this point.
Essentially.
And like, unfortunately, it's not going to go away because rich people are benefiting from it so well. I wish it would just blow up and die.
Well, I think they should just find a way to make it environmentally friendly, or at least more environmentally friendly. Yeah. Because at the moment, it is not. And it's furthering the damaging of our planet.
Oh my God, the carbon footprint from all of the GPUs that are running all of the time.
But then I brought all the parts together and I created this PC.
Yes.
I birthed it.
Yes.
Building a PC was interesting. I had no idea it would be as straightforward as it was. But it's so... Like, you ever seen inside of a computer before? Have I ever opened up this computer for you?
No, but I have seen the inside of other computers.
So the inside of a computer is terrifying because there's a ton of wires, like a fucking ton of wires, a bunch of really delicate looking chips and computer parts and shit. And it is so daunting putting all that shit together. Simple as it is. It really is like 12 steps to build a computer.
Yes.
But every single one of those steps, the scariest part for me before we move on was static electricity.
Okay.
So when you build a computer, I learned that you have to touch the metal part of your case to ground yourself, which essentially means that you need to take the electricity out of your body and conduct it in something that's not your body. Yep. Because if you touch a very delicate graphics card and static electricity, you can actually destroy it. Like before you even put it in your computer. And I'm an idiot, right?
I didn't know that. That's really scary.
So luckily all my parts, like I got really lucky, guys. I built this thing. I finished at like 1 a.m. and everything worked. I turned it on and it was working perfectly. Like,
smooth.
Everyone I read online was like, don't worry if it doesn't turn on. It just usually means there's 1 or 2 wires unplugged. Like, calm down, take a deep breath, look at it later. That's what I was going to do. But then it worked perfectly. So I was like, you know, I freaked out a little bit.
No, it's like that beautiful, like, Einstein moment where you're like, yes! Yes, Einstein never did that, but like it's
alive.
Yeah,
say that
I
with
wanted
the
to say Dr. Frankenstein, but that didn't work out so well for him. But no, like it's just a beautiful like thing where you're like, oh my God, I did it.
And do you have any idea? Like, this has been well documented. We've been doing this podcast a long time, and you obviously have been a part of the podcast and my life for much longer. So, you know how I can get when like the effort doesn't equal result, and how that can be a struggle for me.
You literally had it with the lights like before we started. I was like, is this gonna ruin my fucking attitude the entire time that we're recording this podcast because you're just like huffing and puffing all over the studio?
Right. Yeah. But it worked. Everything for once in my life, when I followed the rules and did everything that I was told to, it worked. And a lot of it, I felt kind of proud of myself because I was learning a lot of things about computers. And like when I opened up my old computer, I recognized everything. I was like, oh, here's my power source, here's my GPU, here's my RAM. Well, it didn't come back to me. I was learning it then. Like I watched videos for like 3 weeks up until then.
But didn't you build that PC? Like the first time?
No, I bought that from a website called iBuyPower, where I purchased the individual parts, but the website built it for me.
Okay.
And then sent me a fully built PC.
Okay.
iBuyPower is great, by the way. They, what I just described is the best and most affordable way to get a custom PC built.
And also, like, for what it's worth, like, yeah, it got way outdated, but like,
Well, that's my fault.
it pushed through for us, you know? Like, yes, our Twitch transitions were garbage.
They were.
And yes, you know, somebody was kind enough to buy us a game and we couldn't run it and we couldn't play it for like months, like 6 or 7 months, because the computer was just like, I'm old. Like,
yeah, what do you want?
I can't handle this.
It's like expecting your grandma to lift weights.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
So what? Like, it was, but it was all cosmetic stuff. You know, like the loading times were super slow. I know you had a hard time with Clip Studio Paint when you were working on your
any RAM heavy program.
Yeah.
So put it this way, my old computer, for those who don't know, RAM
slow as molasses, but like it came through it never like majorly crashed. It never
Well, I mean, a couple times it did, but it was. But luckily, I managed to recover things.
Okay.
Well, that was the worry, right? Is that this computer was getting so old to the point where like booting up was like a 15-minute affair. Shutting down was like a 10-minute affair.
Yeah.
Like it was just like getting to the point where I was like, I think I'm going to turn off this computer one day, and it's not going to turn back on, and that's troubling for someone like me who works from home and exclusively from the computer.
Yes.
Like, well, that's why, like, when I spent the money to build this new computer, it's an investment for the future, you know?
Yes.
My life has gotten a lot easier since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, first podcast, new computer.
Yes.
We finally did it, folks. The GPU saga is over. We did it, fam.
We did it. We made it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel good.
I feel good too. I'm glad that it's done.
Well, I mean, how was your week then, if you want to talk about your week a little bit?
My week has been lovely as well. I am in rehearsals for my first live show since like not post-pandemic because it's not over, but like, you know, post-lockdown.
We're at like the pizza crust of the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know? Like there's still some sauce left.
I mean, we are.
Yeah.
So many people are still suffering.
I know.
And I try and keep that in mind whenever I feel myself wanting to call it over. But regardless, rehearsing for my first live show. It's very exciting. It's with my mentors, Matt and Karen, who run Greenlight Arts in Kitchener.
God, I haven't heard their names in a little while. Yeah.
I know.
Glad to hear it.
I know. It's a series of playlets. Matt and Karen have commissioned a bunch of local playwrights to write pieces about hope and resiliency as we look towards, you know, starting our lives up again a little bit more in person. And I'm a part of 3 pieces out of the 5. It's really exciting. I don't think I've ever been directed by Matt before. I've certainly worked with him and just taken in so much of his and Karen's knowledge as my mentors. I do consider them that to me. But this is the first time I get to like work with him as a director, which is like really
interesting,
where he's at home. And it's just like, I'm so in awe of my mentors. I love them so much. I love the way they work. We work really well together, and it's good to know. It's also like I have changed so much as an artist, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to get to apply that. And I feel myself growing and getting more strong in my craft. And it's been so fun doing that through this opportunity. If I may shill very quickly, tickets are free. It's at the Kitchener Market in the parking lot on EB Street in Kitchener. You just have to go to greenlightarts.com and register for tickets through their website. Just like look under productions and look for We Could Be, and you'll be able to register there. You do have to register because COVID protocols. We can only allow so many people in the venue at one time. Yep. So, but they're free.
There you go.
It's free theater.
If you live in the GTA, you legitimately don't have a reason not to go.
And all of the all of the other actors that I'm working with right now, and like crew members, like our stage director and our assistant director, are brilliant. Like,
feels good to be back, huh?
Oh, I feel so full. I feel so creatively full.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's really, really great.
Well, Sam here is busy being a famous artist, which means that I have to be in the studio doing chill spot stuff, slugging it like a piece of shit.
Do not discount that, because the work that you do, I mean, you keep chill spot running, you keep the engagement up so that the brand doesn't die.
Yeah, really.
Well, I'm like running off doing, I literally could not do this without you. The fact that you are here means that I can go off and do other creative endeavors.
Well, thank you. Appreciate
and
that.
you hold down the fort, and you hold it down really well. You keep our community engaged. you run social media, which like we all know I'm terrible at. And, you know, you've been holding the streams down for the last week while I am in rehearsals, and I appreciate you for that.
Well, thank you very much.
I think what you do is very important.
Well, Sam, thank you. I appreciate it. It is my dream for you to be a famous actor, which is also what we're talking about today. Talking about fame and what fame means to people.
And like celebrities and stuff. Yeah.
So, mostly about celebrity bullshit.
Yeah, if I may, really quickly. How are you with like celebrity gossip and celebrity like entertainment news? What is your feeling to it? What is your relationship with it?
Like you're talking about like
how do you engage with it?
And shit and like gossip columns and all that.
Yeah.
I could not care less. But here's the thing. I'm not one of those people where it's like, ooh, Beyonce had a baby. I don't give a fuck about Beyonce had a baby. Yeah. You know, like I'm not one of those people.
If I may translate, Cameron just said, "Oh fuck, Beyonce's having a baby. I don't give a fuck if Beyonce's having a baby."
Yeah, please. Yeah, we'll put subtitles on the screen. But yeah, I'm not one of those people who like actively rejects celebrity news and culture and stuff like that, because I think that frankly, unless you're diametrically opposed to something, it's just people have fun with this shit, and it doesn't stick in my craw enough for me to get angry about it. So I don't. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a shit about the people who like it. I don't give a shit about the celebrities. I don't give a shit about the people who hate it. Like, it's news that shows up that doesn't change my life in any meaningful way.
Fair.
And that, if anything, my feelings towards it, like, the color I describe is gray.
Cool.
Like, it does not change my life.
Extremely boring. Very neutral.
But that being said, I do hear about it because it's inescapable.
Because me.
Yeah.
Because you can't escape me.
Well, how do you feel about it?
So I grew up I mentioned, I think, in last week's episode, going to my aunt and uncle's farmhouse outside of Goderich.
The pig roast.
And like one of my mom and her girlfriend, my aunt's favorite things to do is like stop at a convenience store, grab a bunch of tabloids and like read them on the beach. And then so I would hear about these things, and like my mom would explain, you know, like certain celebrity history and like stuff like that. So like they would be complaining, like, you know, there'd be an article about like Cher's latest plastic surgery.
Right.
And they'd be like, oh, disgusting. She got another plastic surgery.
What a whore.
And I'd be like, who's Cher? Like, why does it matter? And then she would explain Cher to me. And that's how I came to know so much about pop culture. Partly in part because of my mom's, I don't want to say affinity for tabloids, because she really only read them on the beach. Like they're just light and easy beach reads that you just take with a grain of salt. It's just something to talk about while you're, you know, squidging your toes in the sand and getting your tan on and whatnot.
Right.
So like it's always kind of been like around in like a light sort of way. And then, you know, when I got older and, you know, I would watch like Much on Demand, on Much Music after school, and they would talk about like celebrity headlines, or they would have celebrities in the studio and like interview them and stuff like that. And they would ask them personal questions and stuff. I just found myself fascinated by it because it seemed so adult. And I, you know, I've always wanted to be an adult when I grew up. And it's the only thing
I've always wanted to be an adult.
Yeah.
Ever since I was a baby.
Yeah. So I was just like fascinated because like these were the only adults who seemed to, you know, not hide about their adult life. You know, like my parents didn't tell me everything about being an adult because I was their kid. And, you know, like their friends didn't tell me everything. My parents' friends didn't tell me everything because I was a kid. But I had questions. So reading tabloids was kind of like my way of like figuring out what exactly adults did, all the nitty gritty juicy parts that I wanted to know about, like sex and drugs and like.
That's really dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not the best. I didn't say it was smart.
No.
I didn't say it was cool.
It's because it's not.
I have had to do some unlearning. Hang on,
before we continue. Your frame of reference for what an adult was in your adolescent years was tabloids. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. A little bit.
Wow.
In part.
I mean, I just think that like, I mean, hey, admittance is the first step, right?
Yes, yeah.
You've come along. You're obviously not this person anymore.
It was also that typical in the years, I want to say from like 2006 to 2008, one of my favorite activities to partake in with my dad was making fun of the starlets who were like getting caught like upskirt photos like in the tabloids, quote unquote, showing off their underwear or showing off their lack of underwear, when really they were just like being sexually assaulted by paparazzi.
Yeah.
Which I now know. But, back in 2006 to 2008, I was very ignorant. And
when being politically correct wasn't even a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, like my dad, if I can say this respectfully, is very concerned with respectability politics and, behaving properly, what he deemed as proper. So we would make fun of these girls together. We would check out the latest celebrity tabloids, or we would hear on the radio the latest dumb thing that Paris Hilton had done.
Sure, whatever.
And we would make fun of it, and it was like it was a thing. It was a way that we connected, was making fun of these girls.
A bonding thing, yeah.
A bonding thing, yeah.
Being misogynistic with dad.
Listen. Yes. Yes. That's how I learned internalized misogyny. You can't, nail on the head. That is exactly how I learned internalized misogyny.
And that's insane.
Especially, from a man talking shit about women who were being sexually assaulted, but pinning the blame on them.
Yeah.
And then teaching that to me. And being like, if you want to be a proper lady, don't, or if you want to be respected, don't do this. Not, why are you sticking a camera up a girl's skirt?
Right. It's Sam, if you don't want crazy men to stick cameras up your ass, you better not show it to them. Wear a box everywhere you go. I want pictures of Spider-Man, Your dad is J. Jonah James.
Exactly. Yeah. This is getting a little real. I'm gonna have to disassociate from this conversation really quickly.
Shall we move on?
But yeah, no, celebrity culture has always been something that I'm lightly interested in, and as celebrities come forward about the harm that certain methods of reporting on their lives cause, and as I grow up and just become an adult myself and learn how to treat people with respect, I have changed my relationship to celebrity culture.
Okay.
But it's interesting the things that I learned, I thought I learned a lot about life from celebrity culture, and now I'm relearning things about life and unlearning certain toxic traits in part through celebrity culture.
Right.
There's a lot that I learned from living my own life.
Well, I'm going to say, you weren't just a magazine kid.
No. I didn't really read them.
Right, yeah.
I just, I watch TV shows. I used to watch, I mentioned before, all of my most of my pop culture knowledge came from watching Much Music and Much More Music. And they would have, these countdown shows, top 100 best music videos of all time.
Sure,
and then, in the segment, they would talk about the artist's life. And I would learn about, gossip in that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you then have probably a fairly strong grip on fame and the idea of fame.
I have a lot of thoughts about it.
A lot of thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Let's set the record straight. As of this episode of the Show Spot podcast, Sam and I are not famous people.
No.
Don't think we really even want to be perfectly honest with you.
The only reason I would ever want to be famous is that it makes your projects get finished so much quicker.
Or started.
Yeah, exactly. People believe in you a lot quicker, and it's easier to get balls rolling when you're famous.
Sure.
That would be the only reason. And, I'm not entirely sure that that's worth it.
But in your opinion, Sam, what do you think that fame does to a person? For me, I think a lot of the reason why celebrities are the way that they are is due in part to the fact that fame is kind of like a drug or poison. Something that I think warps your perception of reality.
Yeah, I liken it to goggles.
Sure.
Or those kaleidoscope glasses that make everything all fucked up.
Yes, yeah.
Or even side note, did you ever go to some dare thing? It was a field trip.
Against drugs, I guess.
Yeah, and they would put the goggles on your face.
The beer goggles.
The beer goggles that simulate what it looks like when you drive drunk.
Yep.
And they make you walk. They try and make you walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like fame is a version of that.
But all the time. Yeah.
But all the time.
Well, because it's so clear to me, especially in 2020 and 2021, and you've pointed this out many times, both off and on the podcast, that as plebeians, our perception and our liking of celebrities has changed significantly, I think. Mm-hmm. I think the conversation around celebrities has really changed this year. For reasons that we'll talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think that it's pretty clear that if you're a famous person and a celebrity, you don't think, act, or even behave the same as the rest of us do. Mm-hmm. And that's part and due to fame.
Yeah.
Because fame changes people, at least in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not treated like a human being, and I don't mean that. I heard celebrities say that and like read celebrities say that in quotes in magazines a lot over the years. And I was like, yeah, like as a kid, I was like, yeah, you get treated better.
Right.
You get treated better than a human being. That's why everybody wants to be famous.
Right,
because
right.
you want to be treated like celebrities. You know, in my mind, I was like, in my young mind, I was like, celebrities get respect. Celebrities get admiration. Who doesn't want to be adored? Who doesn't want to be completely respected as a human being for what they do all of the time?
When in reality, they're being assaulted and having their privacy invaded, and no part of their life is truly their own.
Yeah.
But isn't it interesting how, like, who knew? Come back around to the media. You know, the media, like, warps your perception back, you know?
Yeah, someone is spinning a tale.
Constantly.
And it's completely, you know, like there's the famous person, and then there's the audience, and then in between is the media. And the media is the connection of communication between the famous person and the audience. And they have all the power to distort everything.
Yes.
In my opinion, that's why so many celebrities have podcasts now.
Oh,
or reality TV shows, because
control the narrative.
It's an attempt to control their own narrative.
100%.
And social media too. Social media does a lot of that.
We talked about this some podcasts. I think it was the episode we talked about with we talked about Ed Sheeran standing. We talked about the standing culture.
Yes.
Where tabloid culture and paparazzi culture seems to have at least changed or diminished significantly in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Partly because we have more access to celebrities than we've ever had. Right? There's no more need to go out and get the E-Weekly magazine, because I can go on Ed Sheeran's fucking Instagram and see exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Or conversely, on the flip side, those magazines have been forced to become more predatory and only focus on things that they don't talk about on their social medias.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is a whole other set of issues.
Yeah.
But on the topic of warped perceptions and things that celebrities do, we've accumulated a few of our favorite things of the last couple years that celebrities have done that we think are hilarious. Let me start us off here, Sam.
Okay.
One of my favorite things that celebrities do in order to, because I guess I should preface this a little bit. In my opinion, once you're famous and you get a taste of fame, it's all about getting it back. It's like getting that hit of serotonin, right? A matter of fact, I'm sure that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, everything a celebrity does, a hyper-famous celebrity, everything that they do, usually is an attempt to make them more famous. Like naming your baby something really fucking stupid. For instance, Elon Musk's baby, which I looked up how to pronounce, is pronounced X-A12.
That's still really stupid.
It's pronounced X-A12. That is a real human baby's name. X-A12.
X-A12.
I think that's the worst one, to be honest with you.
I mean, like, how fast do they say it? Like, X-A12?
X-A12 Musk, you come here right now. Young lady or man, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Like, I could see them going, X-A12?
That's
X-A12?
That's not better.
If you, like, squish it all together and say it really fast.
They probably just call them Ash.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
It's like you can just name a baby that.
Name a baby Ash.
Like,
you got a problem with the name Ashley?
I was talking to somebody about, like, names that you would name a kid for the sake of what you could shorten it to.
Right.
And I'm like, if you like the shortened version, just name them that.
Right.
Right? Like, if you want to name your child Francesca because you think Franny is a cute name.
Franny?
It's just an example.
Okay.
Just name the child Franny.
Right.
You can name them that.
Well, but I think
that can be just their name.
But isn't the appeal of having a shortened name, like, that it's something to shorten? Like you know what I mean? Like, my name is Cameron.
Yeah.
But everybody calls me Cam. Everybody. Like, my parents call me Cam.
Yeah.
But my name is Cameron, though.
Yes.
Like, and I don't know. I guess I'm having a hard time putting the words, but, like, I think there's an appeal there.
My whole thing was just, like, people were choosing the names based off of the shortened name alone.
I see.
And it's like, if you like the shortened name, then just name them that.
Right, okay.
Like, I went to school with somebody named Ty. T-Y.
Okay, yeah, I knew a kid named Ty.
Not Tyler.
Yeah.
Not Tyler.
No, yeah, I knew a kid named Ty as well.
Yeah, which I think is so sick. Like,
Yeah.
so straightforward and to the point.
Ty.
Also, like, it's cool. I went to I went to elementary school for a little bit up until, like, grade 3. And then, like, I think middle and high school with him. And I remember, like, looking at him in kindergarten being like, you got it made, man.
You're fucking cool,
Your
Ty.
name is Ty?
Yeah.
Man, I have to learn to spell Samantha. Your parents named you Ty.
My name
Shout
has,
out
like,
to them.
12 fucking letters in it, dude.
Yeah.
2 letters?
Ty, lucky.
Everybody knows shorter the name, the cooler the kid, right?
Yes.
I know a girl named
Voted most likely to succeed.
Yeah, she's the president now. So good for her. Yeah. But yes, Ash, X-Ash A12, I do think is the worst offender.
X-Ash A12.
X-Ash Shantae.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, X-Ash A12.
X-Gay Ash A12. That's the drag name?
Yeah. X-Ash Gay 12.
Gay 12? That's what it is. That's what it is. But yeah, I think the X-Ash Day 12 is definitely the worst of all of these baby names.
Also, it doesn't help that nobody likes Elon Musk.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, he could have named him Eric. Yeah. And everyone would be
like,
Eric! Oh, you're Elon Musk. You're gonna name your kid Eric.
Got a problem with the name Paul?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's true. This is true.
There's no winning. I feel like that's also sort of the motivation behind celebrities. Again, they have the distorted goggles on, so they feel like, in a way, they have to name their kids something weird because they're a celebrity.
Right,
and
but I think that's
don't think
so
in their
dumb.
minds they're like, it's that straightforward, but I do think that subconsciously that's what happens.
Yes,
you feel the expectation to provide something weird to society. Mm-hmm. So you're like, what fucking like odd trigonometry function? Right. Like, let's look to a graphic calculator for name inspiration.
Let's smash a keyboard and see what happens, and that'd be my baby's name.
Exactly.
But Elon Musk, that's an interesting point, because Elon Musk gained Twitter notoriety for being a meme lord. He was a CEO who was a meme lord.
Yeah, but
you're gonna meme lord your baby?
He's also, like,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
He's also famous for being like a late meme lord.
Well, he's a boomer.
Like, he would be exactly. He would be making Doge memes in like 2012, and we were like, "What the fuck are you doing?
It's not funny."
Like, why are you posting Success Kid in 2014?
There was
weird.
Elon Musk. It was ironic at first because Elon Musk was he's a CEO and he owns Tesla and like all of this like huge technology company.
Kind of like Wendy's Twitter, right? Like, it's funny. This like major CEO likes Doge memes.
He's his own brand Twitter.
LOL.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But he's shit at it. And he's also a total shithead.
Exactly.
So I mean there's that.
Yeah.
But
we as plebeians loved and thought it was so funny that this like CEO
he's
with all the wealth in the
relatable.
world was like bad at memes.
Yeah.
It's like, I may be poor, but I know how to meme. So I have that over Elon Musk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If I have one thing on the Musk man, it's definitely my memetry.
Exactly.
I'm far more adept at memeing than Elon Musk is.
Yeah.
I think the second worst offenders, and like there's a lot of, I shouldn't say second worst. There's a lot of, we're gonna do a little thing in a second here, but I hate North and Chicago West.
I've gotten accustomed to Northwest.
Because they call her Nori.
Yeah,
which is a name.
They figured out cute nicknames for it, and I also just got used to it. Like I just got used to it. I think it's cute. I think she embodies it well. Not that that's a thing that a 7-year-old has to do.
She's
but
a fucking baby.
I know. You know, she wears it like she's been doing it her whole life, and she has. But
because she has.
Yeah. I think Chicago could be a cool name.
I don't.
I think Psalm is a stupider name.
Oh my god, that's right. I forgot about Psalm. Yeah. How can I forget?
Yeah.
That's the worst one.
I think Psalm is the worst.
Out of all of Kanye West's children, Psalm is the worst one.
I also get mad because they've taken to calling him Sam, because even Kim Kardashian West has agreed that it's a hard name to like call somebody.
Psalm, come here, Psalm.
And now that's my thing with celebrity baby names is like, yeah, it makes a great headline, but you understand you have to refer to this person as that.
You also realize,
and it's gonna get old. Don't. It's not a joke. Like,
it's a baby.
It's a person. You have to call this person by that name.
Yes.
For their entire lives. You're gonna call them Psalm.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Have more respect for your fucking children.
Yeah. You're gonna get an email and be like, oh, we got to talk about Psalm. Oh, Kanye. Like, we have to go to a parent-teacher meeting. Psalm's acting up in class. Like.
Meanwhile, Kanye's living in a stadium somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
In his bunker or whatever the fuck. Like,
and it's like, you don't want to fucking say that. And it's like, it's true. They don't, because they call him Sam now. And I'm doubly pissed because that's my name.
Right.
You could have just named him Sam.
Right.
It's a fine name. I have it. But Psalm, because you wanted to be all like high and mighty and like give your kid not just a biblical name, because like
it's not even a biblical name.
There are biblical names that are lovely names,
like
right?
Luke or John or Paul.
Isaiah, beautiful name. Yeah. Abraham, beautiful name. Joseph, great names.
Yep.
You had to name them the most obtuse, just like
it's not a
out
name.
of pocket biblical name that you could.
It's
fucking
not a
find.
name.
Fuck you.
Fuck
you.
It's so stupid. Well, I mean, but that I will give Kanye some credit. That is in line with the naming conventions he's employed for his children, because all of the things that he's named his children are like things, or like North is a direction.
Yeah.
Chicago is a city.
Yeah.
Psalms, I'm gonna get this wrong. My phone is the thing recording us right now, so I can't fact check this. But Psalms, I believe, are like poems or chants in the Bible. Like they're not.
Yeah,
it's not a name.
Person.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
like,
I believe. Yes. Well, it's funny enough. I learned this from a John Mulaney special.
Hilarious.
He was like, "Yeah, do you ever read the Psalms?" Like
yeah.
He has a joke about like, oh, like you read the Psalms, and it's like the fact that he called them the Psalms makes me think someone who is a heathen and like has not spent a lot of time in church, think that it's an object, like it's a noun. It's not a person is a noun, but
I get it. Yeah,
it's an object, not a person in the Bible.
An idea,
it's not a character.
It's a thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
like a psalm is a thing as same way a story is a thing, right? Like I'm not gonna name my kid Story.
Life is bread.
Yeah, exactly.
Amen.
No, then my favorite part when they do this, the priests do this. You ever been to like a Catholic church or like a
I've been to yours.
When?
For your grandma's funeral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would say because like I haven't been to mass in like a decade. I don't really account funerals, really.
Okay. But like they do call those masses.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, you have a funeral mass.
But yeah, then my favorite part is when the priest gets up there, and the priest can never sing, right? The priest is always like,
no.
To enter weather with him, and the unity of the Holy Spirit.
I should say the white priest can't sing. Black priests are lit.
Well, yeah, black church, soul church is different.
Yeah.
It's completely different. Yeah, I'll go give them that.
It's not called soul church, but yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a white Lutheran church for a while, and whew, you really don't have to be able to sing.
No.
To do the Psalms.
Right.
You really don't.
But we're getting off track.
Yeah.
So I want to do something fun here, Sam.
Yeah.
I have gathered a list of the most ridiculous baby names that I could find on the internet.
Okay.
And I want to see if you can guess the parentage of these baby names.
Try me.
Okay?
Try me. I'm so good at this.
Guess that baby name. Okay. First name is Sage Moonblood.
Sage Moonblood. Is that the name of Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa's baby?
It is not.
Damn.
It is Sylvester Stallone's kid's name. Sage Moonblood.
The moon doesn't blink.
It's also like a fantasy name. Like, I have a D&D character named Sage Moonblood.
I don't hate the name Sage, but Moonblood?
Yeah, I don't quite get that. Yeah. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
Bear Blue.
Is that Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet's baby's name?
No, it is not, and he's not on this list.
Okay.
It is Alicia Silverstone's baby's name. Is Bear Blue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bear is a cute name. It's an animal. It's a stuffed animal name.
Yeah, I was gonna. You name your dog Bear.
Yeah.
You don't name your kid Bear.
That's
the
fair.
fuck?
That's
fair. What the hell's wrong with you? This is a good one. Ready for this one?
Yeah.
Pilot Inspector. Spelled INSPEKTOR. Pilot
Inspector.
Gadget. Yes.
Yeah.
Pilot Inspector. Whose kid is that?
So far, we've had Sylvester Stallone and Alicia Silverstone, so we're not going with like famous people.
Mm-hmm.
Pilot Inspector.
I don't expect you'll get all of these. I just think they're hilarious names that have nothing to do with the parentage, except for one.
Yeah. Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck.
This is Jason Lee's kid. Is Pilot
Who's
Inspector.
Jason Lee?
He's an actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has he been in?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like, you weren't supposed to ask.
I didn't get that far.
Yeah. Next one is Your Majesty Jackson.
That's one of the Jacksons. Your Majesty?
It's Your Majesty.
Is it Jermaine Jackson?
It is Jermaine Jackson. His kid's name is Your Majesty Jackson. Your Majesty. Make me Rice Krispie.
Your Majesty?
Your Majesty. That's actually his name. His name is Your Majesty.
No, see, this is where my brain goes. Your aunt is Janet Jackson. You're gonna make Janet Jackson refer to you as Your Majesty?
Come on, yeah.
That is so disrespectful.
Yeah.
That actually makes me mad.
Wait,
that Jermaine Jackson, one of the lower tier Jackson kids,
like the D tier.
Like I feel like it was a stab because his career is not as like good as Janet Jackson. So he's like, I'm gonna make you call my kid Your Majesty. Janet.
Damn it, Janet.
Stupid.
Could you imagine?
Ignorant.
Imagine like
Bad.
getting a call from the school and being like, "Hey, Jermaine, Your Majesty has been acting up in class lately. He wants everyone to refer to him as King." I don't know where that comes from.
I feel like all the teachers at that school draw straws every August to decide who gets Your Majesty in their class. Like, I don't want to call this fucking kid Your Majesty for a year.
Your Majesty. And I think the craziest part about this name.
Do you shorten it to Jer?
Jer?
Jer Jackson?
Jer Jackson. What's Jer short for? Your Majesty. But
yeah, my dad's Jermaine Jackson.
But what's really funny is that Your Majesty is the fusion of the name Jermaine,
yes,
which is his father's name, and the word Majesty.
Your Majesty.
You are so fucking full of yourself, that you named your kid Your Majesty.
It's not. So it's a play on Jermaine, but it's also a play on not like the word Majesty, but the phrase Your Majesty.
Yep.
So you're making them call your son Your Majesty, but with your name infused into it. You're fucked in the head.
Because you might be a king, but remember where
this is why nobody fucking cried when Joe Jackson died, because he gave birth to all of this. He did this to all of the Jackson kids.
Perpetuated this. Yes.
This is his fault 100%.
How did I know that at the end it would be Joe Jackson's fault?
It always comes back to Joe Jackson.
Always. Yeah. Okay, last one. I don't think you're going to get this one.
Okay.
But this name is insane.
Okay.
Moxie Crime Fighter.
Moxie Crime Fighter. I feel like I heard of someone naming their kid Moxie.
You never know. This person is rather famous, but they're not like superstar celebrity famous.
Moxie Crime Fighter.
Moxie, like the restaurant, Crime Fighter.
Oh, I was thinking Moxie is a skate brand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I only ever know of Moxies.
It's a brand of roller skates.
Like Moxies, like the Scotta Bush style restaurant.
Yeah. The mid-tier.
You know, there's like sports bars, and then there's nice restaurants, and then there's Moxie. It's like right in the middle.
That's like where the regional manager takes his wife on their anniversary.
Exactly, yeah. Come on, babe, we'll pile in the caravan. We're going to Moxie's.
Yeah. She gets all dressed up like they're going to like I'm trying to think of like the fanciest like single restaurant I can think of, but I can't, like some fancy steakhouse, but they just go to Moxie's.
Going to like the barber's house or something, which is now a closed down restaurant in Mississauga.
Moxie's is just Chili's with better big screen TVs.
Pretty much. No, and they walk in and the regional manager is like, babe, I want you to order the build your own bruschetta tonight.
They go home and she gives him the best blowjob of the year.
But just a blowjob.
Yeah.
She's been pregnant twice.
Yeah.
She won't have another baby.
Yeah.
You know, like.
She'll just blow you really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, happy anniversary, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you for the $80 dinner at Moxie.
All right, I'm gonna go see what Moxie Crime Fighter is doing. You go clean yourself
Moxie
up.
Crime Fighter, whose parent is that?
Conor McGregor.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. No, I can't imagine. That's why I said it.
It's Penn Jillette, the magician of Penn and Teller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Penn named his, I believe, daughter Moxie Crime Fighter. Which is funny because Penn famously has a very deep voice. Mm-hmm. So I imagine that's probably why. But it was like, what should I name my daughter?
Wait, Penn is the one who doesn't talk, right?
No, Teller's
the one who doesn't talk. Which is ironic.
Ironic, because
Teller.
You see the bit? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't talk. Yeah.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Moxie Crime Fighter is the name of Penn Jillette's daughter, I believe.
Moxie Crime Fighter sounds like Kick-Ass's sidekick.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Moxie Crime Fighter.
Hit Girl was the okay. I couldn't remember the actual name of the girl from Kick-Ass. It's Hit Girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that Kick-Ass has an actual sidekick, but it just, considering what Kick-Ass is, I feel like he would have a sidekick named Moxie Crime Fighter.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, in terms of stupid things that celebrities do, I have a bunch written down, of course. Is there anything that comes to mind that sticks out in your mind?
Like stupid little things that...
Yeah. Well, something you've noticed, like something a celebrity has done recently, or even like the last 3-4 years, like you always come back to where it was like, that was a dumbass thing that regular people won't do.
I guess I have I always find it hilarious when celebrities don't get let into clubs.
Oh, because they're not famous enough?
Yeah, or just because the bouncer doesn't know who they are, which I think is hilarious. Recently, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky weren't immediately let into a popular bar in New York called Barcade, which is exactly what it sounds. It's a barcade.
Yeah. Well.
Which I didn't know that was the name of a place. I thought that was like a genre of bar. But yeah, it wasn't even like they were trying to get into like the 40/40 club. Like it was Barcade.
Right.
Like stuff like that, or Paul McCartney being kicked out of Tyga's post Grammys party.
Oh yeah,
because nobody knew who Paul McCartney was.
That's
why
sad.
Was Paul McCartney trying to get into Tyga's Grammys after party and be seriously?
Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
No one there. I can understand one person not knowing who Paul McCartney is.
Right.
Multiple people kicked Paul McCartney, wouldn't let him through the door.
And it's sad because like of all the Beatles legacy people, Paul McCartney is like famously like the nice one.
Yeah.
Like, he's the one that people like have no problems with.
He left peacefully.
Yeah.
But like it was just that nobody knew who Paul McCartney was.
It's kind of sad.
That was the story.
Okay, it's like what it I mean, and I get it. Listen, the Beatles were famous in the 60s.
Yes.
That's a long time ago.
Yes.
It's been a fucking long time.
Also, like, think about the circle that you're trying to walk into here. Think about who Tyga is.
I know, yeah.
Like, it's very possible that Tyga and the people around Tyga were not surrounded by Beatles music and have no idea who he is. It's entirely possible.
Oh, of course. Well, my whole thing, like, little side tangent here. My whole thing is that, like, as a musician, I think that, especially a professional musician, I think that there's something to be said about, like, getting yourself interested and invested in the history of music, right?
Yeah.
And at the very least, like, understanding that when you see, like, an insanely famous person, and, like, listen, pot, kettle. Like, I don't know everything about famous acting history or film or theater history. Like, I also don't know nothing. Like, I'm gonna toot my horn a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't have, like, an encyclopedic knowledge. I know who fucking Paul McCartney is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I just think it depends. Like, I feel like if, for example, like if Curtis Blow tried to get into Tyga's after party, who was like one of the first rappers.
Oh, sure.
In like the 80s and 90s before hip hop like really blew
started,
up.
yeah.
He had one of the first successful albums. Funny enough, it was a Christmas album. But one of the first successful rap albums before rap really became its own genre.
Sure.
Like if Curtis Blow tried to get into Grammys after party, I'm sure he could get in because he's a hip hop artist. Yeah. Tyga's a hip hop artist.
That's fair. Fair.
But if like Paul McCartney, like yeah, sure, Tyga's in music, but he's in rap and hip hop. So like he has his own Paul McCartneys.
That's fair.
That he would let into a Grammys after party, theoretically speaking. He doesn't, and like it's not like you can even get a hold of the Beatles music all that easily. The catalog is really, really locked down. I know it's available on Spotify now, but like think about how long that took.
Yeah, I think they did that in like 2016.
It took a long time.
So yeah.
Yeah, I can see how,
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, your heroes aren't necessarily everybody else's heroes.
That's
but I
understandable.
just think it's funny when celebrities can't get into places.
Yeah,
it's my favorite thing because my last one is that so a thing that famous comedians, like stand-up comedians, will do. They don't try out material the same way that like regular stand-up comedians try out material, which is like you sign up for an open mic night and then you work on material on stage. They do that, but because they're celebrities, they tend to just sort of like pop into open mic nights unexpected and be like, hey, do you have any room for me? And then usually the club owner will be like, of course, you're Jerry Seinfeld, of course I'll make room for you. And then, the lucky audience gets a surprise Jerry Seinfeld set where he practices new material.
If it's good.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Amy Schumer tried to do that and got turned away.
No way.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my God.
Amy Schumer showed up to like the Comedy Cellar or something and was like, hey, like, do you have any like open spots for me? And they were like, no.
Who are you?
And she was like, are you sure? And they were like, no, we definitely
No, I know who you are,
don't.
and we don't have room for you.
We're not booting Joe Schmo from the bottom of the lineup so that you can practice material. Amy Schumer, fuck you.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also like, I don't know if this is the right word, but that's a little serendipitous in my opinion, because like Amy Schumer is famously like, not like well liked.
She's white. She's a white female comedian.
Right?
Yeah.
And like the thing with Amy Schumer is that she continues to be popular. She's in films.
Mm-hmm.
She obviously has a fan base.
Yeah.
I haven't met any of them, but like they have to exist.
Yeah, her films do well.
Unless it's all people who hate watch her, which again is entirely possible. But I only know people who dislike Amy Schumer.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
don't.
that's the circle that we run in, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't associate with people who like Amy Schumer because I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, really.
So I purposely avoid them.
Well, my whole thing is that like if you like Amy Schumer, you probably like some of her fucking really crass, ignorant humor.
Mm-hmm.
And like, listen, I'm not against crassness. I make fart jokes and shit. But I like to mix it up, peaks and valleys, you know?
I've been meaning to rethink my stance on Amy Schumer personally.
Watch the Leather special. That's the one everybody likes.
I know that her thing, she's not doing a whole lot right now. She had a really, really tough pregnancy.
Oh, bummer.
And she made a documentary about
Oh, I heard about that.
going through her tough pregnancy and just sort of like highlighting that, pregnancy is a lot.
Yeah.
It's very taxing, and some women have it a lot harder than others, and it's more women than you think.
Well,
so
I'm sympathetic towards that.
She got applauded for that, and I've been meaning to check out that documentary and maybe just like watch, because like I've seen a couple of like Inside Amy Schumer sketches here and there, but I haven't watched one of her stand-up specials. I haven't watched Inside Amy Schumer in full. And I haven't seen, I've only watched like a couple interviews and like some sketches. So I've been meaning to like really give her another shot. I just got pissed off when she did a Formation sketch on her show when Beyonce's Formation came out. She did a parody of it, and people were rightfully mad because Formation is a celebration of Black culture. And
I see.
This white woman made it about her. And I think she partly used it to promote a movie that she was doing with Goldie Hawn at the time. And it's like, you don't get it, do you?
Right.
And white women will never get it.
Well, I think that's the issue, right? Is that like when it comes to what she parodies, I think that like sometimes she could remove the original context. And I get it. Listen, nothing is above being made fun of. But there are some things that I think like, especially like, I don't know, do a Formation sketch like maybe not as soon as it comes out, right?
Yeah,
like,
it was like as soon as it came out.
Or like, if you're going to do it, like have your background dancers maybe like also be Black or something, right?
It's also
like,
just like, not everything is for you.
Yeah.
Like not everything is for you to parody. This was a celebration of something very specific.
Right. Yeah.
And it just wasn't the place. It wasn't her time or her place.
That's fair.
Make fun of Crazy in Love if you want to. I'm not saying you can't make fun of Beyonce. I'm just saying like this song had a very specific message, and you kind of, I mean, like it was celebrating Black culture in spite of whiteness, and white women are very much a part of that. You think of white women's part in, we're getting off topic by the way, and I know that, but you think of white women's participation in anti-Black racism specifically, and it's just like it stings a little bit harder when a white woman makes fun of a song specifically made to celebrate Black culture,
right?
And that's all I'll say about that because we're off topic now.
Well,
so that's why I've been displeased with Amy Schumer for
fair.
a while.
That's
but
fair.
Yeah.
Feel free to, anyway.
That's, I was talking about things that
I know.
celebrities do that I find funny.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think it's hilarious still when Amy Schumer got turned away.
Yes.
I think that's fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
Especially because like Amy Schumer is still like a fairly famous person. Like people know who she is. So the fact that like, and listen, I also think what's funny about what you just described being like the don't you know who I am and no moment is like that's also kind of sad.
Yeah.
Which is why I think you should never play that card.
Yeah.
I could be the
You're
most
rolling
famous.
a very small die.
Exactly.
With that card.
You're rolling a loaded die of 1s and 6s, and you're not gonna get in. That's it.
Yeah.
And If I was the most famous person in the world, I would never play that card.
No.
Because I don't know if I'd ever be able to emotionally recover from the no, I don't know who you are. You know?
Or yes, and I don't care.
Yeah, or yes, and I don't care. That's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I heard a story once online through the internet about this girl was going to a club with Ron Jeremy, the porn star, and Ron walked up to the VIP with the girl, and the girl, because she was hot, got let in, but he got turned away.
Right, because he's a foot.
Well, yeah, because like Ron Jeremy, despite being like a famous porn star, really perpetuates the idea that you don't need to be a good-looking person to be in porn. A good-looking man.
I mean, I think Ron
porn.
Jeremy thinks he's extremely good-looking, but that's kind of the joke.
No, he looks like Captain Lou Albano, like the guy who played fucking Mario in the live-action Mario Brothers show.
Yeah.
Swing your dick from side to side. Do the Mario, you know? Like, it's just...
But yeah, that's kind of the joke, is that Ron Jeremy thinks he's good-looking, and we're all like, no, dude, you just have an enormous penis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he got turned away because he looks like a foot, and then
Yeah.
like apparently looked very dejected and turned back into the crowd. But yeah.
Sucker.
Celebrities aren't like us, Sam. They are not.
No.
They're nothing like us.
Stars are not just like us.
I
They're really not.
firmly believe that, like, I accept the notion that you spend what you make in terms of, like, money.
Yeah.
You know, if you can afford a lifestyle, you're going to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Why would you live a lifestyle in poverty when you don't have to?
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's
Yeah.
kind of the whole idea.
Yeah.
That being said, celebrities often do that. They live in big-ass houses and drive nice-ass cars because they can afford to do so.
Yeah.
But every now and then, they spend ludicrous amounts of money on something really stupid.
Yeah.
Because they can. But that doesn't mean it's not stupid. For
Yeah.
instance,
We call it having fuck you money.
did you know that Lady Gaga bought a ghost detector for $40,000?
I believe it.
Because she's that scared of ghosts?
I believe it.
And she believed that her bodyguards weren't enough to protect her from spirits?
They're not.
I mean, what would you do?
She would be right. She's not wrong.
If I hired a full detail of 4 bodyguards and told them to fight off the specter in my home, I don't think that any of them
They
could.
do it.
I don't think that's unfair. I think it's stupid, though.
See, like, it's stupid, but there's like a shred of reasoning in it, because like you could, if you really wanted to be a celebrity with like the aforementioned like beer goggles on, like the fame goggles on, you could say, I pay you enough money, I want you to fight ghosts.
Yeah, really.
There's
yeah.
a celebrity out there who's like, no.
You're fighting ghosts.
No.
You're fighting ghosts.
I pay you $400,000 a year. I want you to physically fight a ghost.
Yeah.
I pay you enough. Do it for me.
What's
I'm
your name?
Lady Gaga.
What's your name, Danny? You're Danny Phantom now.
But no, she like went out. She's like, I understand that it is humanly impossible to expect these men to fight ghosts for me, so I'm going to go find something that will. And whether or not you believe that it actually can.
40 grand.
I know.
40 grand.
I know. No, I don't think, I'm not saying that it's not out there.
Of course.
It's definitely out there.
Right.
But I appreciate her saying, no, I understand you can't hire a person to do this. I'm going to get a machine.
Yeah. No, and the thing is,
But it's
though,
also like, what do you think is haunting you? In your giant mansion.
what did you buy?
That you probably built. So it's like, it's not like you bought a haunted house.
No, Sam. What's a ghost detector? Why does it cost $40,000? Where did you buy it? Did you have this made?
Well, I mean, like, I just assume that ghost detectors are expensive. I'm not surprised that they're expensive.
What does it do?
As someone who is steeped in this culture, like, it's ridiculous.
Yes.
It's like, so just get on board with the fact that it's fucking ridiculous.
Okay.
And of course it's going to cost a lot of money because they're scamming you.
Well, that's just it.
They're scamming you.
Well, yeah,
of course it's going to cost $40,000 because it doesn't fucking work.
Because Lady Gaga apparently is a guppy and just wanted to buy fucking... But you know what? I guess it's all about, like, to give her the benefit of the doubt, because Lady Gaga's a celebrity I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
I like her content. I like her music.
Yeah.
Content. Like, she's a YouTuber.
I also think she's a good person.
And she seems like a pretty good person. So I'm not going to give her too much shit. If you have $40,000 to spend on something that makes you sleep better at night, whatever, man.
What a life.
I mean, must be
What a
nice.
life,
I don't
yeah.
think I've ever made $40,000 yet.
No, it's just $40,000 of assurance.
Yeah, really.
You know, like it's not. It's a $40,000 placebo.
Buy a nightlight. It's so cheap. So much cheaper than going to, like, I don't know, would you go to Elon Musk? It's like, Elon, do you have any ghost detection technology? And he was like, yeah.
Also, like, okay, so the ghost detector detects a ghost. What do you do?
Apparently,
what's next?
I think she had, like, I didn't quite read into it. I only just read, like, the skim of it.
Yeah.
But I think she actually has further technology of which to fight ghosts. like a fucking
like the Ghostbusters,
like a ghost pack or something.
Yeah, like the ghost pack.
She has like the traps she lets out.
Yeah.
She actually hired Bill Murray to fight ghosts for her in her own mansion.
Oh, great.
Oh my God.
So good.
Did you know that Bono bought a plane ticket for his hat?
I did know that.
Right?
And apparently, oh, you know what?
That only just happened.
I heard that on an episode of the Mindy Project, so it may not be true. But there was a joke on the Mindy Project that Bruce Springsteen buys a first class ticket for his guitar.
That doesn't surprise me though.
No.
If that is true, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but Bono actually.
I think that's where that joke came from Bono buying a plane ticket for his hat.
He actually legitimately spent like $1,200 to buy a plane ticket for his hat because I guess he didn't want to wear it on the plane, but he also didn't want to put it under the seat or in the carriage.
Right.
I mean, you could also just like not wear the hat, but
you're Bono.
If you're Bono,
you can't ask him to do that.
Listen, Bono. Listen, he's half man, half hat. It's part of his image.
Yeah.
If he doesn't wear the hat,
I mean, like, I'm surprised it wasn't his sunglasses.
If he listen, is Bono without the hat? If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a noise?
I don't know Bono for his hat. I know him better for his multicolored sunglasses more than hats. But, okay.
Listen, he's just Bond.
Again, it's that celebrity excess, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's like, I don't want to put my things, like, nobody wants to put their hat, like, no one wants to stuff their hat under the seat in an airplane or like stick it in the above, in the overcarriage. No one wants to do that. We all have to because we're broke and we can't imagine. We're like, it's amazing that we bought a plane ticket in the first place. Right. We can't imagine buying a second one, much less for another person, much less a hat.
Yeah.
So, like, but if we had the means, like Bono does.
What's $1,200 to Bono? That's like $10 to him.
Yeah. Again, like I'm using my my mantra here, which is like, if you don't think that you're above, like, put yourself in that person's shoes, and if you don't think you're above doing that, then, like, don't criticize them for it.
Sure, okay.
If I were fucking Bono.
Like, rich.
If I were Bono. They basically built the O2 Arena for U2.
Right.
In London. Like, if I were fucking Bono, and I was just like, man, I'm just not having it. Like, I don't want to stick my hat, and I don't want to crush it. You know, I don't want to worry about forgetting it. You know, like, I don't want to forget it in the overhanging space. I don't want to forget it under the seat. You know, can I buy another seat on the plane? Like, can I just fucking do that? Like, I can totally see that conversation happening between Bono and the tickets, the ticket person.
Well, I would go further to say that the clerk was probably like, well, we could always buy another ticket.
Yes.
And he was probably like, really? And was like, great, let's do it.
Yeah.
Do you have tap?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, it was just like, and just like fucking tap that shit. Bono could definitely tap $1,000.
Oh, 100%.
His tap limit's probably like $40,000.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, absolutely. For his American Express card. Yeah, he's got the black card.
Did you know that Beyonce?
Yes.
You probably know about this.
I did, yeah.
Spent $100,000 on gold Balenciaga leggings?
Yes, I buy that.
That's insane.
Yep.
That is batshit.
Yeah.
Like, listen, and believe me, we just talked about how if you can afford to spend the money, spend it.
Yeah.
And Beyonce's a billionaire. Like, she's definitely, her
also,
and Jay-Z.
Like, sorry, how much were those leggings?
$100,000.
Oh, are you kidding me? Like, Cardi B also spends that much money on Balenciaga shoes, the ones that look like socks. Like,
like the songs.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Nicki Minaj spends that much money on clothes, like. Yeah.
It's just so excessive, though. And all of those women you've just mentioned, also, this is quite excessive. You know, like, it's just an absurd amount of money. $100,000.
Especially because it's gold, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're wearing gold.
Well, it's obviously a show of wealth, which all of this shit is, right?
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine spending $100,000 on anything, let alone something you're going to wear once.
I don't think I've collectively spent $100,000 in my life so far.
God, no. There's no way.
Like, even, like, university included.
No.
University and then, like, everything I've ever spent money on since I started making my own money. I don't think I've collectively spent $100,000 in my life.
Well, in order to spend $100,000, you would have had to make $100,000, which we definitely have
not done in my lifetime.
So, no, we definitely have not.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that gets me is that, like, Beyonce is also very involved in the fashion world, right? She's not going to wear these $100,000 Balenciaga leggings again.
No.
After she wore them at, like, the MVAs, where the fuck she wore them at.
Yeah.
You know? Like, she's not going to fucking wear these again. That's $100,000 down the drain.
Yeah.
For one pair of leggings.
Yep.
Must be nice. What's that like? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Would you wear these leggings more than once if you had them?
Yeah.
Would you wear them every day?
Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? I'd be like, they're gold. Do you understand? I bought gold leggings. Yeah. I have to wear them at least twice.
Yeah. You'd sleep in them. You'd sleep in them.
Yeah.
Why not?
They're leggings. They're certainly comfortable enough.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, they are leggings.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. There's a couple pictures of them. If you feel like it, throw a picture up. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like gold plated. Like, almost like it's like
suit armor.
But like it is also leggings, like underneath. So it's like, but the leggings, I wonder if the leggings has like gold weaved in them or something, because they're definitely gold colored.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the thing about these headlines too. It's like Beyonce spends $100,000 for gold leggings, and you find out that they're like removable plates, and then like underneath it's just like gold spandex.
Right.
It's like cheap gold spandex.
Yeah. Is that like Forever 21? Fucking.
Yeah. Exactly. There's always a catch.
Exactly.
That's how they get you to click on the article.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
No, but Beyonce, I mean, like, Beyonce is fashion. So it doesn't surprise me that she spends that much money on something like that.
And again, like, it clearly didn't dent her or hurt her.
Nope.
But I couldn't imagine being in the brain space where, like, you call up Balenciaga and you're like, hey, do you guys sell gold leggings? And they're like, are you Beyonce? And they're like, yes.
As a matter of fact, I am.
And then they go, well, Beyonce, we don't, but for you, I'm sure we can throw something together.
Figure it out.
And then you get the bill, it's $100,000. And Jay's just like, put it on over. You know, like, because I just imagine that's how Jay-Z talks all the
time. Yeah, exactly.
Last one.
Yeah.
Did you know that Celine Dion bought a $2 million dehumidifier when she was working in Vegas?
Necessary. You got to preserve that voice.
This is true.
Yeah.
I don't blame her for getting a dehumidifier, especially when you're Celine Dion. You have a probably very delicate vocal cords.
That's your money.
Where do you buy a $2 million dehumidifier?
I was going to say, I feel like if you just ran to Shoppers and got a dehumidifier, it would also do the trick just as well.
That's exactly what I thought when I read the headline, because I was like, okay, listen, I actually don't, like we just said, don't blame Celine Dion at all.
Yeah. Because
it's fucking dry as fuck when you're working in Vegas. Mm-hmm. And lots of people.
You are in the desert.
Lots of people probably have dehumidifiers.
Yep.
Where did you buy?
$2 million.
Did you have this custom made? Did you buy every part?
Yeah.
Like a fucking PC? You built it yourself?
Where do you shop to buy a $2 million dehumidifier?
Is there a rich person's Amazon? I bet that's real.
Probably.
Like Black Card Amazon?
There's rich person's dating site. Have you ever heard of Raya?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Celebrities Only, that's a thing.
Yeah. I'm sure there's like Celebrities Only Amazon or something. Because, it handles your address. So
right.
You can
that's
trust.
That's a good point. I should look into that. I bet there's a real Black Card Amazon out there where it's like...
I totally believe Jeff Bezos has like VIP Amazon.
Why wouldn't you? I actually think that's a brilliant idea.
I'm sure he wants it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get to be a trillionaire from just fucking sucking off plebeians.
Exactly. Well, you do. But
and I do mean that in the double entendre.
Yeah.
But yeah, $2 million. What the fuck difference does a $2 million dehumidifier have versus the $150 one you bought at like Shoppers?
Yeah.
For instance.
Does
it, like, I want to walk into this room and it's like mountain air. Yeah. I want to walk into this room and it's like the peaks of the Rockies, you know? And if it's anything less, it's a waste of money.
Walking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you are Celine Dion. It's a waste of money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. $2 million.
That is so much money.
For a dehumidifier. It's just, I almost feel like the money is the thing that makes you feel like it's working.
Sure.
Like it's all just psychology.
Right.
You know?
Right,
like
sure.
You spent this money, so you feel like it's working because you spent the money.
That's understandable, I think. I think that makes enough sense, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, there are other... And maybe this just comes down to the artist and what works for them as a person. But, like, I know that some stars also use, like, vocal steamers. It's like a mask that you hold up to your face. And it, like, you inhale, like, relaxing steam. And it, like, relaxes your vocal cords and takes care of them that way.
Yeah, it's called a vaporizer, Sam.
I'm also sure, like, dehumidifiers, like, help. Like, it's, like, a combination of the two. I'm sure she uses that as well. But a dehumidifier, a $150 one and a $2 million one is going to do the same thing. I don't understand. I feel like it's just a bunch of like scientific buzzwords that somebody sold Celine Dion on by promising her like, oh yeah, like it's got this special doohickey inside of it that does it better than any dehumidifier that you can just like buy in a store.
Right.
And she was like, cool, give me it. I'm Celine Dion.
Yeah, exactly.
Does
it suck moisture out of the air and that moisture becomes delicious like, sparkled water or something, you know? Is it a dehumidifier and a soda stream? And it was $2 million.
Even that, I was like, I don't know what you can do to a dehumidifier to make it worth $2 million, other than like encasing it in diamonds.
Totally.
You know,
it is probably bejeweled. I imagine it's custom.
Yeah.
Because again, where? Do you, like that? Even
and
with
what is in the? I just want to know what is in the dehumidifier that makes it worth $2 million.
Is there a Tesla coil in here? Like, why is it so expensive?
Yeah,
like I just don't get it.
I don't understand it.
I mean, clearly it's like you said. It's the same thing with Lady Gaga. It's like obviously these people felt insecure about a particular aspect of their life and wanted to fix it by throwing money at it,
which you can do when you're rich.
When you're filthy stinking rich and you can spend $2 million on a dehumidifier.
Yeah,
$2 million will get you a 4,000 square foot house for the full thing. No mortgages. If you had $2 million,
you could pay it off all in one fell swoop.
That's unfucking believable. That is insane, Sam. Well, listen, Sam, we're getting near the end here.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was interesting to be asked, that we've been bagging on famous people for this whole episode. If you were rich and famous, and I asked this question myself as well, what would you struggle with? I have my answer already.
Actually, you know what? I've listened to a bunch of Armchair Expert, like Dax Shepard's podcast, and he was poor for a time. He grew up poor. So before he achieved success. And I think I'm very much in a similar position to him. I think I would actually struggle with spending my money. Like as someone who knows what it's like to not know where your next paycheck is coming from.
Right. Once you're comfortable,
I would feel incredibly guilty about spending money, and I would be frugal to my detriment. You know,
what does that look like? Like you wouldn't spend money, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like, or I would feel incredibly guilty when I do.
Oh, to the point where like getting out of therapy about it or something.
Yeah,
sure.
like let's say we have kids one day, and excuse me,
and we're also rich and famous.
The kid wants, like an expensive iPad. I would feel bad about buying that iPad.
Even if you could buy 10 and it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, or even actually, when we were doing research before we started this episode. I was reading an article on People's Snapchat story about why certain actors left their shows. And a couple of actors, the reason why they left their shows was because they weren't feeling creatively stimulated anymore. And the money, quote unquote, wasn't worth it. Like Steve Carell specifically, he was like, I left The Office for like similar reasons why I left The Daily Show when I did. Was because I didn't want to get too comfortable. I didn't want to get too complacent. You never know what's on the other side.
I respect that.
I was like, respect it, but sometimes on the other side there's poverty.
Nothing, yeah.
Sometimes there's nothing on the other side, and I was like, what is so wrong? As someone who, left their job knowing that it was going to plunge me into poverty, essentially. Sometimes what's on the other side is nothing. And I appreciate something that can consistently give me money while also fulfill me at the same time.
Oh my God. If I got on NCIS, I'd be the next Mariska Hargitay.
I've said,
fucking ride that bitch out 30 years.
I've said multiple times, I wouldn't be pissed if I was just one of these like Hallmark movie actors.
Why not?
And I make my 2 or 3 movies and it makes me enough money for the rest of the year. I film a Christmas movie in like July. Like I know all summer I'm going to be filming my Hallmark Christmas movies.
And you got a nice house with like marble countertops and shit. Like
it doesn't have to be marble. It can be quartz.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll take quartz.
The point is that it's nice.
Yeah.
You don't live in a shithole.
Yeah.
You can afford your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like maybe you don't drive a fucking sports car.
I don't need one.
I
think sports cars are wholly, what's the word?
Gratuitous?
Not gratuitous. They don't work. Like, for me, like they don't make sense.
Oh, you can only drive them during certain parts of the year.
You can only drive them during certain parts of the year. All sports cars are 2-seaters.
Most of them are anyway, yeah.
Like there's not a lot of storage. Like it's not like there's trunk space.
Oh, it's about the look.
And
it's nothing more than that.
Care.
Yeah.
A lot of sports cars, I don't like their look.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't like the look of like Bentleys. I don't like the look of all Mercedes Benzes.
Yeah.
Or it's not that I don't like them. It's just like it's like that's a car. That's a car. But yeah, no, I think that my issue, if I were to ever come into a lot of money, would be like hoarding it.
Like a dragon. Like just sit on it.
Yeah, and just sitting on it and doing nothing with it.
Because you know what it's like to feel the insecurity.
I would be always afraid of going back to having nothing.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's understandable.
That would be my biggest issue.
My biggest issue, I think, if I was to come into a ton of money tomorrow, like, and just be, like, super fucking rich, like, be like, fuck you money, as we like to call it, would be similar to some of the celebrities that, like, we've shown off with these ridiculous shows of wealth, where it's like, okay, for instance, I could sit here and make fun of Lady Gaga for buying a ghost detector because that's stupid.
Yeah.
But I've seen some beautiful, and I mean beautiful, like, designed by Tetsuya Nomura, the creator, or one of the creators of Final Fantasy, designed statues that are, like, $3,000.
Yeah.
Like, if I was stupid, rich, and famous, I'd probably have like 100 of those.
Yeah.
And that's something I'd probably struggle with.
That would be creepy. I'd be like, Cameron, this is really like it was cute when you got like a Mario statue, but now you have a really, really realistic Bayonetta statue, and it looks like she's following me with her eyes.
Yeah, it's a little fucked up.
Really creepy.
No, I mean, like, it get a little personal. Like, I definitely have. I wouldn't say have. I had, I think, at one point in my life, a bit of a spending problem, or like the onset of a spending problem, where like spending money, be it on like food or games or whatever, like it gave me that hit of serotonin, right? And that was years ago, but now I'm sort of on the other side of that. But I could definitely see where, like, if this process wasn't gradual and I didn't, like, I went from, like, you know, making no money to, like, supporting yourself to being, like, pretty good and being wealthy. If I, like, tomorrow was wealthy, I think I'd probably relapse a little bit.
Yeah.
You'd have to expend, or at least, like, you'd have to do something to fight the feeling of wanting to spend money, right? And I think that's definitely something I struggle with. Would I spend $2 million on a dehumidifier? No, I wouldn't.
No.
Would I spend maybe $1 million on like
a really good tablet?
The Batmobile?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or like a really good tablet, like you said. Like I would probably go
like a bunch of bells and whistles that you don't even really need.
I'd have like a $60,000 computer.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
I'd have the computer they use to animate at like Pixar.
Yeah.
Like why? I don't need this processing power. Like
yeah.
I can render my drawings in a second. It already takes 5 seconds, but now I can do it in a second.
In 1 second. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's the excess. That's the fuck you money. That's the like that's what having wealth does to you is like waiting 5 seconds for something to render is too much.
Exactly.
And you can't afford to make it 1 second.
That's the warped.
And so
right.
you
You're
do
absolutely
it.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned this on the
That's scary.
We talked about like I think we did an episode of being rich behind your wildest dreams.
Yes.
A couple of episodes ago.
Yeah, we did.
And I'll just reiterate that if I had $1 billion tomorrow, that I would probably own tons of special edition consoles and like mount them. And it would be like a wall or like a part of my game room that's just like a beautiful collection of art.
Yeah.
But is at the end of the day, you know, a bunch of PlayStation 4s that I don't use. Yeah. You know, like I feel like playing with the Spider-Man PlayStation 4 today.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
But again, excess of wealth. But yeah, I'm being perfectly candid, I think that's something I would struggle with if I was rich and famous.
Yeah.
Is not blowing all my money because I think I'm smarter than that.
But frivolous things.
Frivolous tiny things. Like
and that's where you would give me a heart attack because I would be over here like scared like, Cameron, what if we never have $1 billion ever again?
Yeah.
You just bought the Batmobile. How are we gonna? What does this do? Like, what does this do? If we go bankrupt tomorrow, they're gonna take the Batmobile, and then what?
Yeah, and then what do we have?
Yeah, it's gonna be embarrassing watching the bank foreclose on our Batmobile, Cameron. What the fuck?
It's okay, and I'll be like, it's okay, Sam. You have nothing to worry about. I'm here to protect you and Gotham. Cameron?
I'd be like,
are you okay?
God, we have to break up. It would end us.
No, for me, like, honest to God, before we end the episode, the part that would tip, like, here's how I operate, right? If I got $1 billion in my bank account and I look at that $1 billion, I'm like, fuck yeah, I got $1 billion. Spend some money. The second that goes to 999 million and it's no longer $1 billion, I'd be like,
I'm broke. I
gotta slow down.
Yeah, this is crazy.
It goes from $1 billion to 999 million, which is still tons of money.
Way more money than anybody needs.
But that's for me, the signal of like, I gotta slow down.
Yeah.
I gotta stop buying pizza.
Out of control.
Yeah.
Gotta stop buying pizza. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
It's true though, right? Like, do you remember, like, before we go, do you remember the first time you made $1,000? Like, not in one go, but like through your like part-time jobs.
I don't remember, but I remember the first time I really looked at my savings account because when I was a kid, my mom smartly told me to split my paychecks literally in half, like 50-50, and then like half for spending and then half for saving.
I really respect her for that.
And when I realized that I had saved $3,000, I was like, I have $3,000. $3,000
to your name.
I am 19 years old and I have $3,000.
Who cares? Who cares that I can't read? I have $3,000.
$3,000. Yeah, and I remember being like proud of that and like look, because like, you know, I suffered for that $3,000 up until that point. I dealt with a lot of bullshit to get $3,000. And, you know, I didn't have the scope of like what it took to live in this world, and that really wasn't a lot. I just sort of appreciated the fact that I made that money myself.
That's good. Good for you. Because I remember, conversely, my parents weren't strict with saving when I was younger, and it's actually something I regret. If I could do 14 again and get my first job, I would absolutely do what your mother did.
Yeah.
Because I would have way more money in my savings account than I have now. And granted, like again, I'm not bad with money, but whatever. The first time I made $1,000 after like working for a couple weeks and like a couple months rather, and like putting that money into my checkings account, I was like, I'm on top of the world.
Yeah.
I could buy 10 video games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then exactly what I just described. The first time I went back to 900, I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
I'm losing it all.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
You know, like I had the world and I lost it.
Well, the way that I would do my paychecks is I would cash the check into or have it automatically deposited to my checkings account,
and then you would split it
and then
yourself.
I would look at the account that was or the amount that was deposited, divide it in half, and then put that half, like transfer it to my savings account. So for a time, you know, like when that paycheck hit, my checkings account looked lit.
Yeah.
It looked so good. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, like I have like $700 for the next 2 weeks. And then like you split it up and I'm like, I have $250 for the next 2 weeks.
You guys want Little Caesars? Let's get some Little Caesars.
I'd go and spend like $50 at HMV and be like, I gotta lock it down. Like I'm going crazy here.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got swindled. You know, the guy asked me if I wanted to spend an extra $15 on like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen DVD, and I went crazy.
And I bought all of them. I bought the whole pal.
I lost my sense of self for a minute.
And I own it. Now I own it. Yeah.
True story.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there for sure. I've been there.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode of the Chill Spot Podcast or listening to it.
But yeah, just to wrap it all up, famous people are not like us, and I feel bad for them.
Do you know that I think that we have never had an episode where I say, thank you for listening, and then we like go into the spiel? It's always like, thank you for listening, and you're like, well then, and then I just think it's funny.
I just wanted to wrap it up. I don't want to expunge anymore, but to end the topic that we were talking about, I do feel bad for famous people. Not enough to want to like start a charity about it or anything. I don't spend a lot of my time feeling bad about it, but I do feel bad because the lens that they view the world through is severely distorted. And if you don't have people looking out for you, it's fucked up.
You got problems, but no, come on.
More money, more problems. No, you know, Biggie said it all.
No, you don't.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening to the Chill Spot Podcast. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode. I certainly enjoyed this episode.
So did I.
I could talk about celebrities forever.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating.
Right.
But if you enjoyed this episode, we have like 105 more. Go back and listen to them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, and YouTube. Yeah. Where you can watch us in Technicolor.
Oh, we upload every Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Yes.
Although it goes a little bit earlier on streaming services, so be sure to check those if you want to listen while you're driving. Podcasts live or die by word of mouth. So if you loved this episode, be sure to share it with your friends and your Discords and your group chats and your with your dog, whatever.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you are currently listening to us on a platform that offers a rating system, we would appreciate a 5-star or thumbs up rating. That really helps us out. We're trying to do some here, so
yeah, really,
it would help us out a lot if you could rate us.
Be sure to subscribe on YouTube. We also do Twitch streaming. We stream 3 days a week.
Yes.
At twitch.tv/chillspot. Go be sure to drop a follow over there. Drop a sub if you can. If there's some spare cash. All the money we make from all of these endeavors goes right back into making this channel and shows and everything we do better for you guys at home. So thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week on Tuesday at 3 p.m. And you have yourself a great day.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah, what?
One last show.
Okay.
Don't forget Cameron Draws on Instagram. Get a commission from this guy. My Fringe show, my Toronto Fringe show, you can put your mask into it, is still live on Fringe on Demand right now. Go to fringetoronto.com, buy a $5 membership, and make sure you tap that pay what you can button, because the artists see 100% of that money and like chuck us a couple of extra bucks. And come see my live show live show. It's not a live show. Come see the show that I am a part of, a series of playlists called We Could Be with Greenlight Arts, live at the Kitchener Market. Go to greenlightarts.com for info. And yes, thank you so much. I'm done. I promise.
And we'll see you guys next week.
No, I'm just kidding.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.